Just a little review heading towards the game in midweek as the Mariners are hosting Fleetwood Town. It's again the Cod versus Haddock derby. There we go. And obviously we've had the pre-match press conference, which was dropped earlier, and it doesn't look like we've had too many injuries. Obviously, it was confirmed today that Geza Toure would be heading, obviously, to international duty with the Pharaohs, which everyone kind of thought was going to happen. So apparently, the club will be having a meeting as to see whether the Cambridge games and the Chesterfield game, where they get called off or not. We'll have to wait and see what happens there. I think there's a strong possibility that they'll probably both get called off, due to international call-ups. But I'll do another video on that. And see what happens. It's just a personal opinion. But away from that, we'll talk about the game briefly. And no real injury worries. David Artell was asked about George McEachran's future. Again, saying that, asked whether he's any closer to staying or going. Artell, obviously, being what he is, very, very coy. Was not giving too much away, which you sort of understand in that position. You don't want to give too much away. My gut instinct on that is he probably will leave us at the end of the season. So you know, I don't expect to have George next season, but we'll see. We'll wait and see. No real injuries. Evan Coy was spoke about. Apparently, earlier today he had a talk with a specialist. So hopefully, the club will know more fairly soon what's happening with George. Not with George, with Evan. Apologies. So obviously that is going to be a bit of a blow, especially if he has to be out for surgery. You've got to imagine that'll be Evan's season up, really, if he has to have surgery. But I think everything else, sort of, for these next two games, are kind of, where we were, still in quite a strong place. And like I said, we'll find out soon enough about the international call-ups and what happens to those games. If you didn't check out my running video, do go and check that out. That's over on my YouTube channel, where I go over the remaining 10 games and my thoughts going into those 10 games. So do look out, do go and find that video and give it a like and a comment with your opinions on it all. So let's talk about the game, shall we, just briefly. Let's talk about the game as, like I said, Grimsby host Fleetwood. Grimsby are in 8th on 56 points, while Fleetwood lie in 14th with 51 points. Grimsby scored 50 goals this season, Fleetwood 47. And Fleetwood have conceded 5 more goals than us, 45 to 40. And Grimsby have the most shots and on target, and including off target. The block shots are 139 to 136. If you look at the pass accuracy between the two sides, the Mariners just edged that, 71.41% to 68.39% for Fleetwood, and points dropped, points gained from losing positions. For Grimsby it's 9, for Fleetwood it's 19, Points dropped from winning positions, 14 for Grimsby and 18 for Fleetwood. And if we look at the recent form of the two sides, obviously 2 defeats in the Mariners' last 5 games, and 2 wins as well. They came against Salford and Notts County. The losses came to Bristol Rovers and last time out in quite a drab game against Oldham. Whereas if you look at Fleetwood, they're unbeaten in their last 5 games, but only win one of those, which was a 1-0 win at Walsall. They've also had draws with Tranmere, with Cheltenham, with Gillingham, and with Newport. But they are obviously in a decent position, being in 14th. They're not beyond the realms of making a late charge from playoffs. Like I said, been on 51 points. That's 5 points behind us. And obviously we're 3 points behind Chesterfield, with a game in hand on them. So I always say when you lose a game, it's how you respond to it. Can you bounce back fairly quick to losing? And that again is something that Grimsby have done quite well this season, to be honest with you. When we have, at least in recent times, only 2 defeats in 15, we have responded. So, but obviously spoke about recent form, obviously, of Mark Helm, who is the top goal scorer at Fleetwood, and I did watch him last week actually, in midweek, and boy oh boy was he dangerous. He sort of ran the show for Fleetwood really, but Fleetwood will be disappointed to have only drew that game when they were 2-0 up. So obviously the confidence will took a slight knock, especially being at home as well. One thing I do love about Fleetwood, and it's got nothing to do with the football, it's the fact that whenever they score, they always have the theme of Captain Pugwash, which I think, I have to admit, I found myself when I've watched any Fleetwood games or anything like that, it's even before my time, Captain Pugwash, but I've always ended up sort of jigging, because you just jigging around because you're just waiting for that, the organs start, playing. It's kind of like, yeah. So, but I have to admit, that's a good touch at Fleetwood for that. And again, this is a team we can't take lightly. They're unbeaten in the last 6. They're unbeaten in the last 6, 2 wins in those. And they're not conceding as many now either under the new manager. So, they're going to feel that if they can get a result, they'll feel as though they can possibly make a late charge. And you never know. If you look at the last 8 times that we have played Fleetwood, it's 6 wins in Fleetwood's favour to Grimsby's 2, and obviously we only have to go back to earlier in the season with the 1-0 win at Fleetwood, and obviously we won the last 2 against Fleetwood. So last time we got beat was at 1-0 at Fleetwood in 2024. But it was a tight game at Fleetwood, New Year's Day, and it's not going to be an easy night. And I don't think anyone, definitely after Oldham, they're with them being within a fighting chance of a playoff push, they're going to feel like they've still got a chance. We've got to take this as a home advantage and try and make the most of it. personally for me, I would start probably Jamie Walker in the middle. Obviously, with Ev being out injured, I think you've got to. And I'd probably play George instead of Geezer for this one. Or you can play both. He's done that a couple of times recently, I'll tell. But I think you've got to start Cook and Kabia. I think in this you have to. He'll make some changes. We know that he will. He only made 3 last time out. I think he might make a similar amount. But obviously, probably with Ev now going to be out sort of long term, it'll be good to see whether Cam Gardner makes the bench. We'll see, because there's always that threat of that. But we do have a strong bench. That's one thing about us right now, is that we do have a strong bench, and we could easily cause some trouble. But I think you've got to go most definitely with Cook and Kabia, in my honest opinion. Obviously, with Vernon still being out, I think you'd say Sellers Fleming, but I think, if you're going to play Sellers Fleming, then you've got to play Cook and Kabia up top. If not, then you're going to put Kabia, I believe, in that. You've got to give it a go, because obviously Terrell didn't have the best of games, so you need to try and mix it up, and then just see what happens, because obviously we need to keep our overall momentum going, and if you've got Andy Cook there as an attacking option, I think you've got to take it. And obviously, with the way that I would bring the players on that really came on at half time, I would start them, especially Walker, Kabia and Cook. I would definitely start them in this game against Fleetwood, and just see what happens. Just some quick match facts. After losing their first Football League encounter with Fleetwood, 1-0 on the opening day of the 24-25 season, Lisby Town have won both of their last 2 against them, which obviously I spoke about, which was in February and of course New Year's Day. Fleetwood Town lost their only previous Football League trip to Grimsby in February last season, the 2-1 win, one of 12 away league losses they suffered in 24-25, only losing more on the road in a Football League campaign in 15-16 when they lost 13. The Mariners are unbeaten in each of their last 8 home league games, winning 4 and drawing 4. They last enjoyed a longer run in the Football League in September 2006 when they won 12. I believe that was under Russell Slade in his first stint as Mariners boss. And Fleetwood are unbeaten in each of their last 5 away league games, winning 3 and drawing 2. They last went 6 on the road unbeaten in March 2020 in League One, winning 3 and drawing 3. So it's an important game for both sides, this. I think the Mariners have to, we have to bounce back. We have to bounce back. We know we've got the quality in the squad to do it. So I'm going to go for a quick score prediction, and I am going to say I'm going to say a 2-1 win, and I'm going to go for a Cook and Kabia double, I think. He may go with a different team entirely, but I'm going to go with Cook and Kabia to get the 2 goals. So a 2-1 win. I think, Helm will be Fleetwood's main threat. but they are vulnerable at the back as well. So you've got to be sort of like, if we can be prolific in this one, we should have enough, to hopefully bounce back after that. And so that's just a quick preview. All things are good. We should find out, hopefully by the end of this week, what is happening with the international call-ups in regards to where the games will be on or off. At the moment, it looks like they might be postponed, but they won't have long to rearrange them due to only having about 6 weeks of the season left. But I'll do an extra video on international call-ups because I've got an opinion at this level, which I'd like people's opinions on. So there'll be a video coming up probably around the international break. Probably after the Barrow game that'll come out, and a little bit of a debate that I will put towards Grimsby supporters, but Football League supporters, especially League 1 and League 2. So that'll be coming up, like I said, during the international break. So do hit the bell button and the subscribe button. The bell button will let you know when I upload that video. It'll be an interesting debate on what people will generally think about my thoughts and what they think about what I say. And like I say, it's all my opinion. By the way, all the stats came from the BBC Sport website. I just want to make that clear. So everything I used was off there. But leave me your score prediction down below. Can the Mariners bounce back from the disappointment of Oldham last weekend, at the weekend? Can we bounce back and just keep that momentum still there? We haven't lost momentum, but can we just bounce back quick and hopefully get a result against Fleetwood? Let me know down below what you think. I will be at Blundell Park tomorrow night. If I do see any of you guys there, do come and say hello and let us know what's going on. If you can't make it, obviously it will be on Sky Sports Plus. If you cannot make Blundell Park for whatever reason tomorrow night, but if you can, do get down to Blundell Park and let's, for the last 5 home games of the season, let's make this place rock. I think we need to make Blundell Park rock for the last 5 games, because I think that really will help the lads as well over the line. So leave me your score predictions and thoughts down below. I'll be back with a review after the game, of course. So do hit the bell button for that as well. Like I said, that'll let you know when it gets uploaded. Like, share, comment and subscribe. And until after the game, I'll see you soon. Up the Mariners, and let's try and get a bounce back, shall we? Let's do it. I'll see you guys soon. Ta-da.